Okay, everybody, welcome back to the stream. And this is, by the way, a live show, and you might be watching this obviously as a recording afterwards. So what we're going to be doing here today is basically looking through Zksync era mainnet, and obviously we'll be taking out questions and things like that during this stream. Let me actually get out the setup here. I should have probably done this earlier, but okay, there we go. There we go. So let's do a bit of a small recap before we go into the tasks. So Zksync started out as a privacy protocol. So you obviously had Zksync Lite, and before the Lite we also had something else. I can't remember the name. And those are probably not something you want to interact with. You have the option to do so, but they are not probably relevant into this airdrop. But I do think people like me who did actually, to quite extent, actually interact with Zksync Lite, for example, probably are going to be rewarded in this system. But obviously, the first thing we are going to be needing is some Ethereum, and we are obviously going to be needing some type of wallet. And I will be dropping these links into the chat, and then obviously when the stream is over in the VOD, there's going to be like a full description on every link necessary. So let me get that one. So this is the main page. That is zksync.io. You're not actually seeing the URLs on this layout, but make sure that you are on the right sites. And there are a couple of different bridges here, and we should probably talk about the bridge philosophy here in terms of like the transfers and everything. I think you can do a very low ball Zksync transfer. Like a lot of people don't have necessarily the funds to just throw in massive amounts of money. I think $50 is pretty good, and $100 is even better, because sometimes we have these criteria where as in the amount bridged will be a criteria. I think in Arbitrum we had that criteria that if you had like bridged over $1,000, that's going to be having a higher multiplier on your final airdrop. So that's an important factor, but I don't think you should be disencouraged if you have like only $20 to throw into this thing. And obviously you're not going to be losing all of that money. You are obviously going to be able to bridge them back into another layer 2, whatever that is, or layer 1 back. And we're going to be using Zksync, and that's going to be our bridge we're going to be using. You can use, that's kind of like the official bridge of sorts. Or should I say, I think it is the official one. And there's a couple of other options here like Layer Swap and Rhino. And then there is the Zksync Lite itself. But we talk about that a bit later on. And make sure that they are, well, 4 of these have ERA. So that's important to look into, not to be confused with Lite. That's not exactly its own main. I think it's like a smart contract of sorts. And next up, we're going to be going into chainlist.org. Let me paste that on the chat. And you guys can do it if you're watching live right now. You can do all the steps with me on same order. And we're going to be typing in Zksync. Typo there. And you can add this to MetaMask. And approve. And we're going to switch. Well, we're not actually switching right now because we're obviously going to be bridging. Now, there's a very, very good tool that was done, somebody on Dune, and basically what this does, it using the same simulation as the Arbitrum airdrop to rank out the addresses for the airdrop. And this is criteria such as how many transactions have been done in different distinctive months. So pay in mind, I said this again and again on these previous videos that I've done. Obviously, if you haven't seen, I've done one on Linea, and one on Starknet, and one on Zora. Those 2 streams and that one video is available on the channel. Post this, if you're watching the VOD, there should be a ping coming out right now linking you to those specific videos. or you might find them in the description. And basically, as I've said on those videos, it's important to do transactions across different months and weeks, because we know fundamentally that if you do everything on one day, that's probably not going to be heralded as like very, very highly on the hierarchy, and it might seem like you're a bit of a bot. So I really recommend like doing, you want to maybe you want to do all the tasks we're going to be doing here today, but maybe you don't want to do them all like a one day like I'm doing here today. So perhaps, you know, we are going to be doing something else. Let me actually post this so you can keep up track with the Dune analytics on the thing. So this is started using blah blah blah, and then there's interacting with how many smart contracts, and then there's the volume thing in terms of, and that volume is probably the amount of bridging and the amount of traded volume. And the traded volume is not exactly a super popular metric because there are many different dexes and not all of them are obviously run by the main thing. So usually it's amount of transactions, the amount of weeks and months, and then there's obviously maybe the amount of how many times you bridged. I don't usually do many bridgings unless I really need add more money into a certain DApp or something. But let's finally get into our first step here. And actually, this is not the first step, but this is the Zksync Lite. And, you know, we're not going to do this on the stream, but if you really want to interact with Lite, I guess you can, but I think maybe the criteria for interacting with Lite is gone now that the era has launched. So maybe, you know, maybe not. So this is our bridging here. This bridge is only allowing transfers from the mainnet into Zksync era. There's going to be a fee, which is obviously attached to the current gas price. The current gas is, oh damn it, it's not showing on the stream, but it's currently 39 Gwei. Yesterday when I was doing it, it was 45, so it's a bit lower. You can obviously wait till the Gwei is lower and do the transaction then when it's cheaper. So roughly around $13 is going to be now the cost. We're obviously going to be seeing how much that's going to be. I'm going to be putting out I'm just going to be putting out 0.01. I don't have a specific amount here, you know, in mind. This is over the ballpark of $100, which I already mentioned. We're going to be connecting our wallet, browser wallet. And now we have our account here ready. And we're still on Ethereum. And arriving 15 minutes, so I guess I have to like talk shit. In the meanwhile, we're going to be approving this transaction. This transaction is, I'm going to be using the site suggested, so that's only $9. It's not actually 16 that it was showing up, but we're going to be seeing the actual status. I should have done this transfer very immediately before starting the stream, but hey, or not on the beginning of the stream before I go into this theory stuff. But let me drink some water. So let's see how much we actually paid for this transaction. This is important data. So the cost of this bridging was only $7. So that's probably the biggest cost that we're going to be having today on this whole stream. So, you know, that's how much you probably should prepare. But, you know, thankfully we are in a low Gwei situation. We are not paying millions of dollars in costs to bridge. There has been times when it's been lower and it's been higher and blah blah blah. And, you know, we have to understand that there's always a certain period of time when you should interact if you want to really cut down on the costs. And obviously, if you're going to be doing multiple transactions, that's going to be costing you a lot more. So I think in general, from my perspective, is that, okay, here it even shows up the actual chain. That's kind of cool. But whatever. Like now, let's go into making another transaction, and you can withdraw it from the same way. Back to the Ethereum, and there's a portal that you can look through, and you can make even transactions here. So that's actually kind of convenient. So this is kind of like a working as like a form of MetaMask or whatever, if you have glitches or something. And what else do we have here? Well, nothing else really important. And now we just have to wait until the transaction goes through into the Zksync era. So here you can go into your Ethereum networks and it should be coming out in here. So Zksync era, not to be confused with ZK or ZK Aztec. ZK is the underlying technology that is being used behind the network. Like Optimism is a technology, and I think Plasma, and then you have Zksync. So these are the most important ones. And I do want to remind people that let's actually two Zksync era mainnets here, but these are exactly the same. This is just a different RPC. I think, yeah, exactly. So now that we have, let me actually, I need to confirm this, so don't disregard this. Disregard this altogether. What are we gonna be adding here is, this is the mainnet, that is channel ID 324, and I'm gonna just make sure that that other Zksync here is not some faulty thing. Show test networks. Let me see, that's gonna be, so you can go into the settings, networks, and Zksync era, and see the settings 324, and this is 324. So it's basically the same. It's just using a different RPC probably. So let's see. Yeah, the RP is currently, yeah. So basically these are one and the same, different. I don't know where I got the other one, but that's kind of irrelevant here. So let's see how long do we have to still wait? Was it 15 minutes? And now is a good time to ask some questions if you're watching the stream. So if you have any problems or whatsoever, I gotta add actually timestamps on the post launch. And one of the things I'm gonna be, let's talk about a bit of future plans. So maybe we're gonna be doing some type of cool Christmas stream with giveaways, things like that. Obviously, I do want to do a couple of other streams because these airdrop things have been demanded by a lot of people. So we had to do one for ZK which is Polygon's layer 2. That's going to be pretty big in terms of valuation. Like Polygon's really big, and now they're doing like a layer 2. And then and I don't actually remember, does ZK use Matic or does it use actually Ethereum? I don't remember. But yes, so we got to do ZK and maybe also, I'm actually missing out. There was another one that we haven't done yet, which should be done probably. So we have done Starknet, we have done Linea, we have done Zora. Oh yeah, Base. Base is, so here's the thing with Base, which is Coinbase's own chain. So Base is seeing a lot of attraction, but the problem of Base is, long as they are based, no pun intended, in United States, it's very unlikely that they're going to be legally allowed or legally wanting to release a token. So basically they would have to do an airdrop, which is going to be excluding the American audience from that airdrop, or they are going to be moving to Dubai or UK. And in those two regions specifically, they are allowed to do an airdrop. So that is very important here in terms of like getting people involved with the actual airdrop. But Base is like many people, I'm not the only one who is saying this, that this is fundamentally, Base is like very, very on the edge. Aflef, welcome to the stream. It's very on the edge to whatever we're going to be seeing an actual, airdrop. So I wouldn't really put all my eggs into one basket known as Base. Probably, actually, do we actually have DeFi Llama? So let's just go look this very briefly before we continue on the stream. And where are we gonna keep going into the chains? Well, we can connect here. Why does it ask me to connect even though I don't want to? Seriously? Okay. And oh yeah, I recommend getting a wallet guard extension when we are I should have probably posted this earlier. Let's go post this shit. Okay, we are. This is a good example of like I was almost posting that. This is the wrong website. Yeah, that's fine. Like it's like every time you have these fucking Google ads and Bing ads like showing you the fucking fake shit. Well, that's good. That's good we show that. That's a good fucking example of like not doing stuff. But I probably would have been able to decipher that when we would have asked any type of transaction. So let's go into chains. Now what do we have here? We have, okay, Base doesn't have a token. Fusion has a token. What else do we have here? Forks. Is there like a compare change running Canto? Most of this stuff already has their own tokens. There's like really few EVM based. Here's Polygon ZK EVM. Oh yeah, scroll. We have to do a scroll stream. So that was the one that I was thinking. And maybe there's, somebody was talking about Manta, but I think Manta already has their own token. But there are a couple that we need to do. Is the transaction still not through? Okay. We finally have our, no, this is Ethereum mainnet. Still waiting. And what else do we have here? That's Zksync Lite. No. Polis, what is this? I'm pretty sure there's a token for this one. There are definitely a couple of, I think there's Q and Massa. Those one don't have tokens, but they are not EVMs. So they're a bit different. And there's probably not as many dApps there as we have here. So, and who knows, like some of them might like do, like Polygon could like one day decide that we are going to be doing another token. Because Polygon, I don't think is like a governance token. They don't have a governance token. But yeah, we have to do like a more research on this testnet stuff. Like a whole, well, I did one video, but I can't remember what exactly has been released on that. So where can we actually track our, I'm gonna close that. But this is good. A lot of people watching the stream right now can, catch up. And this is another one where you can basically bridge your funds. Okay, apparently Manta hasn't done a token yet. So there's that. Let me search my address. Let's see where we at. Transactions, no balance. Internal, ERC20, ERC721, ERC, okay. No, nothing on here on bridge side of things. I think it has been, the stream has been on for 24 minutes, but it's not been exactly 15 minutes yet since we did the transaction. Let's actually go through and see that transaction. 5 minutes to go, and basically this transaction should be faster. You can also use, since we are on the subject, you can use Orbiter Finance. And this is actually allowing you to send like from Polygon into Zksync Era. So if you want a really fast transfer, you can do this. So I'm gonna add this here. And Orbiter is a very good thing to interact with because Orbiter don't have their own token yet either. So I think there's been rumors about it. I've been using it fair amount of it, and I think there was a hack though. So when it comes to like making transactions through bridges or providing liquidity, especially to bridges, you gotta be really careful about that, because bridges are like really common point where people like to attack, or hackers like to attack. So you gotta be careful about that. So you can always revoke the access to these specific places by using revoke.cash. Let me add that there as well. So, and you can just connect your wallet. And here you can basically give out approvals. And here you can reverse all the transactions you're going to be doing. So pretty much every chain is here. Almost every fucking chain is here. So this is good. Let's now see whatever. I don't think the money has still even come out. So, but the good thing about Revoke Cash is that once we're going to be doing transactions and approvals, we can actually use Revoke Cash to gain more transactions. So if there's something you're going to be interacting here from today's list and you don't exactly feel 100% secure about that dApp, you can just revoke the access to it. If you give it some token balances and stuff like that. And that will farm you more transactions. And especially doing transactions to which are like denying and revoking things tend to be lower on gas. So you're going to be saving money. And Zksync has currently like a cashback system. So once you do a transaction on the chain, they are going to be refunding like 50% of it or something like that. So the transactions may seem kind of large for a layer 2, but fundamentally like you are getting paid back a portion of that. And you have to kind of understand that, yeah, when we're going to be doing this airdrop farming, yeah, there are going to be transaction costs. It's not going to be you're depositing $100. Don't expect to get $100 back. You might get like $85 or something like that once we're done. So there are going to be costs always interacting with these things. Sometimes you are going to be ending up negative and sometimes you are going to be ending up positive. This is how it is. And those who are farming on multiple accounts, make sure you are depositing from an exchange into a new account, not from account A to account B, because that will get tracked. You want to get money from an exchange or maybe to some type of a Tornado Cash type of thing, but maybe not use Tornado Cash. I think the exchange might be a much better option. But let's see. Not that a Tornado Cash is a bad service or anything. 14 minutes. Let's see if it's really holding up to the 15-minute transfer thing. Still 0. Let's see. Where did we have the got the input network here. Okay, the transaction is gone. And also, yeah, this is something I should have probably told you earlier as well, is you don't want to, this is showing us the, okay, roughly 15 minutes is the, so do not withdraw the money from the Zksync Era mainnet once you are done, okay? Do not do it, because there is sometimes a criteria where your existing balance will matter on the balance sheets. So they might decide, well, if you have under $50 on your account, that's not worthy of an airdrop. You're going to be excluded automatically. So don't do that. And that's like some people have been doing this strategy. They farm on one account with $100, and then they move that remaining $100 to account B, and from B to C to D to C, and blah, blah, blah. And that's a bad method, because if the developers are smart, they are going to be, excluding accounts with low balances. It's like, it doesn't make any sense from that point of view to give out money to accounts which have no balance whatsoever, whatever they have been used in farming, or they just have been withdrawing the money back. So once the airdrop is concluded, that's when you're going to be withdrawing your money, unless you're going to be wanting to interact with the chain. I mean, these chains are not like exactly going to be trash or anything. Zksync Era is probably going to be like top 5 in terms of user base, somewhere that in top 7, type 6, type 7 style of a chain. So it's going to be pretty highly sought for. And it's been a long time. God damn it. Like, do we really have to wait still? And I've done these streams again and again, and I always know that these bridges take time. I remember one took 30 minutes, and we had to like have that on the stream. Because I'm not going to be post-editing these things. Luckily, there are going to be timestamps, but we are 30 minutes in. Like 8 people here. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the airdrop grinding. And these are where the money is made, to be honest. I think Linea is going to be the most highly sought for and most valued chain price that's going to be happening throughout these drops. And I don't think we're going to be exactly seeing anything this year. I think all of these drops are going to be happening in Q1. Maybe we're going to be seeing one big release in December or end of November. But I do want to say that it's hard to say, like, when is it exactly too late to interact with a lot of these things. A lot of people could say to me right now that it's too late to get into grinding with Zksync. And I wouldn't disregard that as a nonsensical statement or anything. But I would say that it's been on for maybe 2 months or something. So I think it's still like, you know, I don't think we're going to be excluded. I mean, I know what happened with Arbitrum stream. Obviously, we were 2 weeks away from the timestamp. So that stream, if we would have done like 9 days earlier, those people would have been eligible. So I kind of felt bad about that, obviously, because that account and those accounts were not eligible who watched that stream. But, you know, it is what it is. And there's going to be always things like these happening. And we don't know the deadlines. I remember like Pull Together airdrop. I did that video one day before the timestamp. So people who interacted on that day that the video came out were eligible for that airdrop. So that's crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, I really wish to do... Okay, finally. Enough with the bullshit. Let's move on. So we finally got our money. And most of you are probably going to be getting the money as well. Now, the first dApp you're going to be interacting is called Robots Farm. And this is actually kind of made for airdrop farmers. And I'm going to leave the link into this dApp on the chat. This is a referral link, by the way. Gotta get something out of this, right? And basically, let's actually connect the wallet here. So we're gonna be using MetaMask. All right, wallet connect, and here we are. And they are doing the airdrop themselves. And this is my thesis about doing these grind things. I always try to show you guys things and dApps which are also going to be doing airdrops. So the chances are when, for example, Optimism did their first airdrop, you just didn't get the Optimism airdrop. You also got an airdrop for the Velodrome. So there might be other dApps that are going to be using exact same criteria for the mainnet drop. So people who are going to be the Zksync airdrop might be eligible for another airdrop as well on those same very criteria. And it's important to add things here on the list that are fundamentally giving you chances to get other airdrops top of the mainnet airdrop. And this is basically a raffle system. It's kind of like one of these mining things which gives you points. So we basically have a clan. The clan is on the link. I think it's called the Lowland Ligers. And what you can do is get a free ticket here. Now this is going to be costing you 43 cents. We can choose the market and choose it low. So this will be slow, lower transaction, but this is going to be partially refunded. And this is a thing you can do daily. You can enter this raffle, which will give you 3 points. And this is going to be free NFT. So let's see how much actually this is going to be costing us. Does it actually count the... Okay, the fee is actually 20 cents here. So it's not bad at all. Not bad at all, guys. Okay. So that's one of the things you can do on this platform by entering into these. And now we are in the raffle. And you can also play for free This is going to be having a cost of 50 cents. It's going to be giving us a free NFT. And we're going to be signing in. And we can go into our items. So there's this airdrop crate. In order to open these crates, okay, the bridge is not available right now, but basically, yeah, here's the crate. The crate will be needing you to get these specific items to basically open this. I haven't opened up all my other accounts, so I'm still kind of like, I'm very new to this platform, but all I can say that this is the network, and I mean, this is one of the things that basically is easy to farm amount of transactions, and also obviously they are going to be doing their own airdrop, and this is like just like very good way to earn. And let me actually, yeah, I should have probably entered into my own guild with my own, this is my another account, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And you're gonna invite people into the guild that I gave you. We get multiple points together, and then we're gonna be getting like there's a leaderboard basically here, which I guess they're gonna be rewarded like highly enough if we're gonna be okay. We're probably like 0 here. Okay, but that's the one thing. So basically every day you can hit up the airdrop button and basically enter the raffle by doing one transaction, and this will basically get you points. That's how simple it is. You can also invest money here and buy these things, but there are probably better uses for your money. And because we don't know how this robust farm is doing, but this is actually very, very popular dApp on the chain. But let's move on into our next one. And this is a very important one. This is something you definitely want to do. And this is ZKNS domains. Let me add that link there on the chat. And what this is about is, well, self-explanatory. It's a name service. It's giving you a profile and also giving us, you know, a domain name, and these domain sites always do airdrops. We had once on Space ID, which is on Binance Smart Chain, which I talked about on the channel. We had Tezos domains not too long ago. That was last month, which I talked about for years, 2 years, maybe. And then we had obviously the ENS airdrop, and I'm probably missing out a couple of these other ones. There's still many that I have entered which have not done an airdrop, but these are very popular. And we are going to be doing search, so you can only do .zk domains, and we're going to be setting obviously a reverse domain because that's extra transaction, and that's also probably going to be a big criteria. So the works is very simple. So let's say we're going to be doing ZKS, and this is available, and this is going to be costing 0.25 Ethereum. Now you're thinking about, what the fuck, guys? I'm not going to be paying $400. And that is because it's a low keyword domain. So if we, for example, use ZK, that would be, apparently you can't, I think it has to be minimum of 3 letters. That is not realistic. Okay, let me try K. Okay, let's ignore the 2-letter domains. I don't think they're available. So what we're going to be doing is like we can add very many letters, and this will give us an actual relatively good price. So 0.031, that is $5. Okay, that's the biggest investment you're going to be doing here today, outside from the gas fee that we used on the bridging, which was, what was it, $6. But I'm going to be using something of a sensible name. So I think the normal prices start out at 6 word. So let's try Kekis. How much is this? Yes. So even the 6 letters is, no, actually that's 5. So 5 letters is going to be giving you the lowest amount. You might want to go through like looking like, let's say Vitalik open. That's not open. Is Musk open? Elon unavailable. Tesla. Usually people always take these. You can always take out these company names because those might be and you might take like people's names like Jack or maybe Brian, Bobby. So a lot of these are already taken. A lot of people are farming out these names because names are very popular. Company names are popular. You know, personalities like Satoshi. This is even taken. So people are already always farming out. So you're going to be really early on. I don't expect to make money by swapping out these domains, but it's sometimes you want to think about it. But a lot of things are always taken. I'm just gonna be going out with let's just take this company. Okay, Sanasol. They make gummy bears. These vitamin gummy bears, basically. Okay, this is on my test. Okay, we're gonna register this, and this is gonna be $5.7, and that is including the gas fee, guys. Once again, low. We don't want to make extra cost. It says 1.35 in terms of gas fees, but obviously it's not going to be as that much. So here we see the actual cost is going to be 87 cents and 5.84. So roughly $6. And now we have registered Sanasol as ZK. And now we are going to be selecting the reverse record. So we have to... Let's see. This time sometimes takes a bit time to load. Let me see. My profile. Let's go back to domains. I know. Yeah, I forgot to mention this. So let's get back. So the registration period per years is also gonna be probably criteria for the individual airdrop by the Zksync name service. Just saying. So you want to take 2 years, 3 years, chances are you're going to be getting twice as much tokens by paying twice as much on the gas fee. So that might be worth it. So maybe consider taking a 2-3 years if your budget allows it, okay? Just saying. But apparently the domain is not showing up here. And that's because it probably is registering shit. So it's not going through on the chain yet. So we are going to be ignoring this and moving on into our next step, which is a dApp called moneymates. And moneymates, I have talked about SoFi platforms a lot on the channel. And this is one of them that you can use. This is Zksync native. And you're going to be doing a Google login first. And then you need to link your Twitter. Twitter is something you want to have, obviously. I keep always saying it's almost necessary to get airdrops these days. And this is a very self-explanatory platform. You need to deposit into this account to order to activate it. So this is a separate account, okay? Remember, this is like a new account and you get to get its own private key. So what you can do is you can export this private key and use this account to farm out this drop, which I'm not doing right now, but I might do it for a second account that I'm doing. Because this is a good place to basically farm out transactions because you're going to be doing trades, you're going to be buying your own shares, you're going to be, there's a lot of like speculation and flipping on this platform. It's a very new platform. And I've done a couple of buys here and, and somebody already bought like one of my keys. And I could buy his key now if I wanted to, and I could sell it. Moneymates is like really, really low end. And obviously, did I actually link this to the chat? Probably didn't. So this is the site, and you will be needing invite key, which I'm gonna be providing you for this. Where's the invite key again? Okay, this is the invite key. Use that to basically sign up. You're gonna be getting drops, also points when you're joining into this platform, and that's gonna be eventually accumulating into an airdrop. They're probably gonna be doing actual airdrop once there's gonna be more users. This is like brand new site, okay? And it's going to be ramping up, obviously, in popularity because they are only SoFi platform on Zksync. There's ones on Base. There's ones on... well, basically, every chain has one. So these are good places, in my opinion, to farm out transactions. Because they're free, cheap... They're not free, sorry. They're cheap transactions to do. But let's now double back and see whatever this ZKNS domain has finally gone through, and we can see it. Okay, no data. Let me try to disconnect and connect again. No worries, we're gonna get back to this later. Okay, no worries, we're gonna get back to this later. Okay, now we're actually on the main website of Zksync.io, but this is irrelevant. So next dApp we're gonna be interacting with is Eralend. This is a lending protocol. I always add a one lending protocol because lending protocols sometimes might be a criteria into, well, the airdrop, because that's kind of provided liquidity. It's not traded amount, but it's liquidity. And liquidity is sometimes measured by these dApps that, oh, have you provided liquidity? And we're going to be connecting here. And I believe this is also available on Ethereum mainnet. Let me confirm that. Yes. Oh, it's on Tellus. Okay, that's interesting. And they have their current epoch or whatever, and so basically you are going to be getting tokens also from Eralend if you're going to be participating on this platform. And currently they have only 2 tokens that are being provided here. I'm going to be giving out a very small sum. I'm going to make it 20 bucks, which I'm going to be supplying into this platform. I'm not going to be using it as a collateral. I don't recommend using as well. You can do a lending out of the platform, so you can borrow it. So that will give you an extra transaction there. And once again, 87 cents. We're going to be using the low cost here and confirming. And this will be supplied into the thing. If you are going to be providing USDC, you can go into Revo Cash and like take on no, you can take approval here. So right now we haven't done any approvals here, but if we have done USDC approval to this platform, I would have basically taken away the rights to that USDC just to farm another transaction and also, you know, avoid a security issue. So there's also a gas refund here, which I talked about. So this was 32 cents basically on cost. So yeah, ZK Era, sorry, is a bit more expensive on these transaction costs compared to a lot of things. And we're going to be getting a net APY of 0.2% on this Ethereum, which is obviously going to be less than we're going to be paying in gas. This is supply APYs. These are not amazing, but they are pretty standard numbers for DeFi APYs. And there's also a bridging system here. You can look into different bridges if you want to, but we already kind of went through that. So let's go move on to our next point. We have Mute. This is the largest AMM, so Uniswap equivalent on Zksync. They already have their own token here available. And so you're not going to be getting anything, you're not going to be getting Mute tokens by interacting, but it's going to be one of those criteria by adding liquidity. So as always, I do the normal pairing. So I want to sell Ethereum and I want to get, actually I'm going to do USDT. Usually I do USDC. So I'm going to be getting 0.001, 20 bucks. So I'm going to be providing in total 40 bucks of liquidity. You can do definitely a lower sum if you want to, but that's what I'm going to be doing here today. So I'm going to be providing USDT that you'll probably have. Okay, transaction failed. I don't know why. Let's see what's the root cause of that. Also, failed transactions, which cost gas, count as transactions. So we lost money, okay, here. We lost 36 cents. I'm not too bothered by it because we got an actual transaction now. Small victory. Because it might be that there is a minimum of, oh, you have to have 20 transactions in order to be available. And that transaction just there accumulated into. But I'm gonna be putting rethinking about this. I'm gonna be putting a lot smaller sum here, and let's see what's gonna be happening. Is it gonna be failing again? If it's gonna be failing, we're gonna be totally ignoring mute. There are another AMMs, one on the list also, so it doesn't matter, okay, if this is not going to be working. But let's see if it works with USDC. Okay, now it went actually confirmed. The cost of the transaction was... Oh, there's a lot of routers here, okay. You always want to actually trade through wrapped Ethereum. It's going to be cheaper. Just a bit of a tip there. Okay, and now we are going to be pooling... There's also amplifiers here, which we're going to be participating on. And these are going to be getting us mute rewards. So we're going to be getting something on top of the things we're going to be providing here. And we're going to be providing the full amount of USDC, and then it will be putting that in parallel. We're going to be doing an approval here. Putting out the max amount. This is for the USDC. We're going to revoke this later, just to get another transaction. And also to see how much actually is the cost of doing another transaction on Revoke Cash. It's gonna, because we don't need this USD approval actually to interact with this shit, because we're gonna be withdrawing later on, and that doesn't actually need approval. This is about being smart, okay? And now we're paying the gas for the actually adding the liquidity. So don't be shocked, but that there's 2 transactions here. That is completely normal. And if people have some problems on the chat right now, if people are doing it on real time or just doing it after on the VOD, I guess you can always ask the questions. So there's basically 4 transactions: swap, approval, liquidity, and then stake. So now we're on the 3rd transaction, and now we're going to be doing... this is the collecting the transactions, but we are going to be going into the amplifier. Oh, these are expired. Well, shit. No biggie. It doesn't matter. There might be, if you're watching the stream on a week from now or whatever, there might be more amplified things. And then there they have something called bonds. These have been sold out. Okay, then there's governance. Governance, by the way, voting on governance is also important. We're not going to have any governance tokens right now here today. You have something called the ZK Lotto. I think that's the thing that we were doing earlier with the robots farm. Now let's go back into the ZKNS domains. Has this actually updated? Okay, this is a bit weird. I wonder if the transaction actually went through. What was our domain again? Yeah, it's actually gone through. It's just, I know, yeah, okay. Let me get out just a second, so. So I'm gonna be putting my Litecoin address here, just in the heck of it. And you can add your, so once you register a domain, it's very important to add one record detail here. Okay, you don't need to add everything. You can add avatar, URL, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to be confirming this, because this is going to be criteria not only for the domain, but also it's going to give us another transaction. So once again, free transaction here. Well, not free, but guys, look. So my is not really... I'm not focusing too much on the gas fee costs. I want to have a healthy record of different transactions on different smart contracts. That's my goal here that I'm trying to do here. And that's something you should strive for. And I understand not everybody's going to be doing this because they want to really, really save up on the transaction fees. But once again, and if you want to like, okay, maybe you want to extend this, maybe you want 2 years, I can do this as well. Okay. This is only $6, whatever. Let's do another year. Let's do an extension. Let's see how that will turn out. So, okay. So the My Profile thing here, it's lagging. It's lagging, okay. But once there's a domain here, we're gonna be adding this our thing. That basically allows us to, somebody can now send me a tip transaction to sanasol.zk. You obviously don't have to do that, but once this reverse record is set like that, you can like receive transactions to that payment. So this is nice. But right now I think it's gonna get registered somewhere on the change or some shit. That's why it's taking so long. But yeah, so we did the transaction on mute, and what we were about to do next is going back to revoke cache. And okay, we have actually not done approvals on USDC. Let me do, well, actually I'm not gonna be doing this on mute because it's not necessary right now. We're gonna be doing it on another one. Next up we have KaratDAO. KaratDAO, by the way, already had a one airdrop, which I already claimed on Zksync, and I did sell it. And this is basically social media profile, an ID you can create, and you can do this if you want to. Let's add an email here. I'm just gonna add one of my emails here, I guess. Do I have to verify this, please? Hopefully not. Okay, thank you. Oh, I need to go through the many accounts. Okay, well, we're not gonna do this on the stream, but this is another one that you can do. And this is gonna be costing probably very low amount of money. It's an ID you can get, and etc. This is also working on a couple of other chains as well, if you want to farm on those chains as well. But whatever, this is not very important. There are some airdrops here apparently, which are something that you can claim. Let's see if we can actually claim anything in the site, because that would give us transactions. Let's see, like a windmill. You are not eligible. Our NFT. Okay. Yeah, we're not able to claim anything here on the site. So let's ignore that and go into our next step. We only have actually 3 left here. So we have another lending protocol. This one also doesn't have their token yet, I believe. And this is totally also exclusively on Zksync, so that's a good thing. Actually, they do have a token here. Let's see. Did I post 2 times? No. Okay, this is an interesting site. Is this on Zksync as well? This is not part of my list, but oh, this is on Linea, so that's actually good. But do they have their own token yet? But yeah, okay, let's go back here. So ReactionFusion has okay, this is going back to swap. They have a staking system here, and there's a normal dashboard. They have a couple of different options here, so people who want to rep BTC or USDT, which were not available on those 2 other platforms. I'm gonna put up a very small sum here. You know, 20 bucks is usually what I go with. But you gotta be always careful with these. I don't want to never put a lot of money into these, because you never know what's gonna happen in terms of like hacks and stuff like that. So there's a lot of lending protocols which have been drained, and you know, there's been problems with them. So gotta be a bit careful about putting large amounts of money into that. And this was costing 79 cents in transaction fees. That's actually kind of high. And okay, now we have the it gives you an RE, and you can add a collateral for this. Well, this gives you another free transaction if you want to. I'm not going to do that because we're not going to be doing any borrowing. If you want to be eligible for their own airdrop, you can, you know, get these points by borrowing as well. And this is giving you real-time transactions. The gas fee is pretty fucking high to claim this. Is this really the one? Let me, I'm gonna test it for you guys so you don't have to pay the cost. Obviously, want to claim not immediately. Okay, it was $1.47. We got like a minuscule of RF, which this was not obviously worth it. We lost money there. But basically, you know, these types of claim buttons, great way to accumulate more transactions. And then there's the staking thing. If I want to, now I can stake it as well. But that's a very large sum, and I don't want. But it does give you this VC, which is the site we were talking about, Velocore, that we just found out. This is, I really like the design, not just because it's anime, but I really like this orange thing. And there's a couple of different interesting farming here, and farming things can be, you know, people who are a bit more whales, want to accumulate some returns for their monies. Well, you might want to use these, and these are a great way to accumulate more transactions. So Velocore is something you might want to look into as well. Gonna link that on the chat, but this is not going to be included on my official list. Okay. And then we have two things left here. We have ZKswap Finance, and this is, you know, good alternative for mute. You don't need to do mute because you can do this one. And you can swap, earn, blah, blah, blah. And the idea here is that you can actually get rewards by swapping tokens on the platform. That's the gist of it. So I want to buy USDC. I'm going to be swapping it. And I think I'm going to be getting some rewards here. Did I post this? No, I didn't. Oh shit, we are on the wrong side. Let's go here. And we are hour long already on the stream. Hopefully you're enjoying and getting some information. I really do hope that a lot of people are going to be making a good amount of money from this adventure. And now we got some USDC. Let's see what do they have in terms of liquidity. Do we have farming here? What farms do we have here? So here we can actually farm. And we're going to do that. I'm going to be adding 100% of the... Once again, always put out the max amount. One transaction. Now we have to obviously see how many transactions we have done today on the, I think we are going to be amounting somewhere to 20 transactions after this stream is over. I could be wrong. We have paid a considerable amount in gas fees, that's I know, but always use the low transaction fee. Let me get some water here. I mean, we So now we have an LP, and now we are going to be farming, and enable. This is the LP amount, the LP token. And after we have enabled it, I think we are going to be doing the deposit. Or, yeah, I think. Okay, it's showing us still the enable. And now we are going to be doing the... no deposit, no withdrawal, no lock. So that's good. Now we are giving out $37 on liquidity. Low transaction cost. And once again, when I'm doing these very, very small sums of liquidity provided here, there are probably going to be impermanent loss, for example. So you want to do USDC, USDT probably, but you don't always find the best pairs for that. And the volume is not as high, by the way. And usually that's usually why they don't have great rewards either. So we are going to be getting APR here right now, and we are already making a ZF here. So that's good. What is this campaign thing? Okay, there's some Galxe thing going on. And Galxe is probably going to be the last thing we're going to be looking into. And now we can actually go to revoke cash. Let's see, there's no approvals here. Let me see if I'm gonna show this how it's done. It's not anything big, but this is only for demonstration purposes only. This is obviously gonna be losing me money, but whatever. And then we swap this thing rate, and now we need to enable the USDC for trading. This is, it's kind of, you know, that's kind of, it's not risky, but and now we are gonna be transferring back our money to Ethereum. So we did this detour transaction fucking thing here, which you don't need to do. I'm just showing you. Because now, even though we don't have any USDC, we have given an approval to the smart contract to trade our USDC. And that is, it's a small security issue, I guess, but not like really big. But if you want to be really, really, now it's not showing this for some reason here. I don't know why. I guess it's not giving, maybe it's using a different style of a smart contract, but we don't have anything to disapprove here. So I guess I did that for nothing, but at least we got some transactions. And is there anything else here? There's some. Apparently there's some inviting system here. No, Jasper, this is not Cosmos. This is EVM. Do we need to? Okay. So let me... Cosmos... Well, we can talk about a bit of Cosmos in the end of the stream. We are very end. We have one dab to go through. And let's actually... I want to see how much of... So I think that link that I just gave you gives you discounts on that swap or whatever. So right now we got a couple of LP tokens here, and we have done how many transactions? 20 transactions in total. That's a pretty good number. I think in some of the other streams we actually made 16 or something. So last place you can interact with is actually called Derivio. And this is basically derivatives, if the name wasn't clear enough. Derivatives, easy way to lose money, by the way. Never really recommend it. There are a couple of different things you can do here. Prediction markets. These actually seem the most interesting to me. If I do 5-minute transaction, let's actually do this. Let's gamble with our money. So if it's actually going to be a long, I'm going to be paid yeah, so basically what it does is that if the price is higher than when we stroke it, now it's going down. Obviously, people are manipulating it probably, but whatever. It's the fine. If it's on 5 minutes higher, then we're gonna be making money and etc. Is there some investing tab here? So yeah, they have their own token, so I wouldn't grind too much on this platform right now, because you don't have an airdrop coming in. Okay, so I think that's almost everything. Let's go back into once again to this domains thing, because I'm kind of annoyed by not seeing our domain here. But it should appear, and when it does, you click save, and you know that gives you another transaction. And lastly, we have Galxe, which, by the way, was hacked. Or they got refunded, though. I wouldn't be too worried about that. So no space category. Do we have actually space verification? Do we have a Zksync here? Nope. Can we actually filter by chain? Well, whatever. So a lot of these quest platforms sometimes make you to do these very brief social media quests, and then they are allowing. Okay, here for example we have Dmail, and Dmail is it's on, actually this is on Starknet, but Dmail does have a service in Zksync era as well. I had some problems getting it working yesterday when I was compiling this list, so that's why it's not on today's stream. So, but you want to do some of these. And one of the things you want to have, obviously, is also be, okay, let's actually go on the Zksync official website. So that is zksync.io. And here they do have a Discord. They have a Twitter. And following them on Twitter, as I am, might be a criteria. There has been very few that have been talking about that social media. It's usually Discord, and being active on Discord has been a criteria of actually being. I think I'm already here. And by the way, join my Discord as well, because that's where we are hunting these airdrops on a daily basis. Am I actually on the Zksync? Yes, I am. I absolutely am. Okay. So, and I might actually post this video there, or this stream here, after we have done the timestamps. And so one of the things that is missing here on this list is actually an NFT marketplace, and I think there is none as of right now. If there is one, Zksync NFT. Okay. What is this? Kreatorland. Okay, let's quickly go. Okay, this is available on ZK. Okay. This is great. Okay, listen up, guys. Let's add this here on the very final thing here on the list. Kreatorland. So one of these external criterias are, we talked about, so kind of recap. Transaction counts matter. In how many different weeks you have done, the trading volume matters, bridge amount volumes, and how many times you may have bridge also may, matter. So these are like some of these criterias. But there is also this two, which I didn't mention in the stream. One is creating a multi-sig wallet. And that's kind of hard, actually, because there's not really many services that allow you to do that. Another is deploying your own smart contract. And the easiest way to deploy your own smart contract is by creating an NFT. So let's see actually if this service allows us to do something like that. It actually does. Deploying contracts, by the way, high gas fee. Usually. Okay, what this? I think we just tested transactions which didn't go through. Okay, here are, by the way, the NFT that we minted out, the domain. I'm gonna be doing transactions on Kreatorland because Kreatorland, by the looks of it, doesn't have their own token. And doing transactions here is really good because we get free transactions. No, I keep saying free transactions, but they're not free. These are easy, cheap transactions which accumulate you too. Because you always want to farm on these platforms which don't have their own tokens. That's where you want to have multiple transactions. And obviously you want to have transactions multiple on multiple different things. So for example, like I talked about the base airdrop earlier on this stream, and I said that, you know, what I didn't say is that there are a lot of people who are doing transactions on FriendTech, for example, but that's a one smart contract. So you might do like 1,000 transactions on one smart contract, but you may not be eligible for a lot of stuff because of that. If you do on one smart contract only. And there are some like DeFi animals. Look at these. These are pretty fucking cheap. Buy now. I'm gonna do my own collection here, guys, which are gonna be super cheap to buy, like sub $1, which you can farm transactions on. I just have to get this thing launched. Okay, here we have the mint. Okay, it's gotta do that later, but you know, oh yeah, I don't remember what this Libertas Omnibus thing was, but this might be, there might be some criteria that if you hold X NFT, you might be getting a bonus on the airdrop. That might be a thing. This is why these are actually valued 0.02 Ethereum. So there are NFTs sometimes which are going to be criteria. There's POAPs and things like that you can get from Galxe as well. And here we have the robust farm thing. If you are buying out, like, if you want to really participate on the robust farm thing, you can buy. Well, these are really cheap to buy. Let's buy one of these. Okay, that's not, that was already bought. Let's try this one. Always use buy now. Okay, these are gone. These are fucking gone. Okay, maybe the smart contract is bugged or something. I don't know. But that's basically what we have broken down here today. I don't have much else to add. I'm gonna try to sell this at a double the price to make it worth my while. Let's put this 6 months listing, and let's go through. We have one thing we're going to be checking out before we're closing the stream. Now is a good time to ask some extra questions if you have any on the chat. And obviously this video will be available on the stream, I think. Sorry, I think it's called the streams or something like that on YouTube. And obviously I'm going to be adding this on Rumble as well and some of the other platforms. Okay, the listing has been done, and right now we have 25 transactions. Pretty good, well-rounded number. Obviously there's not more to be improved on here because we want to have transactions next week and the week after, and maybe I'm aiming for somewhere above 50 because currently, as this is the Explorer, there are, okay, this is not the site which I was looking, but there's over 5 million, I repeat, 5 million accounts already in ZK era. And that is problematic because if the project is not going to be like, oh, we're going to be giving all 5 million people fucking airdrop. That's not going to be happening. It's like top 10% or something. Or there are many, many different reasons here. But that's where this Dune chart comes in. And with my other account, I'm already in above 500K. And what we're going to be doing here as this loads is we're going to be seeing how much would our current rank be if you had done all the steps here on today's stream. And there are probably going to be some social media tasks and shit like that coming out if you are paying attention to Galxe and Layer 3 and all of this stuff. So I don't know how fast is this. let's see if it has updated our account here. It may have not. It may not have. Yeah. Nothing. I can't see it, but I will add into the comments section if it will be appearing on. But let's see how many. Like this list alone has like 764,000. And here, even the lowest account apparently has done 120 transactions. But you look at these accounts here, for example, very similar sums, which makes you kind of think about, are these botted? Because the amount in USDC is almost identical. Very identical. But yeah, I think we're going to be wrapping up it in here. And the VOD will be available, and the chat feed should be also available where you can find all the links. There was some question about the Cosmos airdrops. I'm going to quickly address that because since we are on the topic of airdrops, we might as well talk about it very, very briefly. So Cosmos had the biggest airdrop with the Celestia being really, really big. And apparently there's a new one that came out today. Might as well look into this. Not now, but if you want to be part of, you know, a lot of this airdrop stuff, guys, is happening really on our Telegram, especially, and also we talk about it on Discord. That's our biggest communities where we are talking about and sharing a lot of the information which don't necessarily make it to the videos. So you want to be on the loop, definitely join our Telegram group and Discord as well, because that's where I post a lot of the alpha, and also on my, you know, friend tech, moneygrams, and blah blah blahs, you know, all these social test sites. And so I just want to say the only things that are really worth looking for in Cosmos. Oh, the Pyth is going to be on Cosmos. Okay, that's interesting. Well, Pyth is going to be there on the list. And where is that fucking thing? And Gnogan is gonna be that timestamp has been taken. I don't think you're gonna be making a lot of money by staking Atom right now. I think it's kind of unlikely, but you know, it's kind of like Atom is in a bit of a problems. I think in this cycle I'm gonna be selling all my Atom, and I'm not gonna be relying on this airdrop system of Cosmos because it's just distributing a lot of money to a lot of these tokens that have been releasing not being very successful. But hey guys, I really appreciate you for tuning in and checking this stream out. And let's hope we're going to be making a lot of money with Zksync. And if you have already done these tasks and you already grinded enough multiple accounts, then you should probably watch my Linea stream and also Startnet streams. Those are still very relevant. Linea is still much more newer compared to Zksync era. So if you don't want to be late, that's definitely one of the more recent ones. And Scroll, obviously. Scroll is super new. And then we had Zora. Zora is still going to be a thing, but you watch my Zora video as well. But hey, I'm not going to blab any longer. I got a lot of things to do today. So I really appreciate you guys. And leave a comment down below if you want a certain workshop for a certain token also as well. I'll leave it in the comment section. Thanks, guys. See you soon.